Hello everyone. For this video we're going to show you how to use Flippity in conjunction with Google Sheets. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. The first thing you're going to do is go to flippity.net, and once you type in flippity.net, the thing that you're going to see at the top first is of course an advertisement. No need to click on those. Let's go ahead and go on down just a little bit where we actually see the activities that Flippity offers. So you can see that there is things like flashcards, quiz shows. You can even go down a little bit more. It talks about word searches. You can create a bingo game if you want to. You can create crossword puzzles. A lot of different things that you can do with Flippity. So then they have their featured ones on here. Then they have the ones that are good with e-learning. So if you are a one-to-one school and they like you to use that technology a lot, they give you some good recommendations there as well. And then they also give you the opportunity if you want to skip using Google Sheets altogether. So then they have their different activities here that you can use. However, we don't want to use those. The reason for it is because you will create the activity here, you close out the website, you go back, and all that stuff that you made is gone. So what we are going to do is use it with Google Sheets. Therefore, you can save it and use it as many times as you like and share it with whoever you like. So let's go ahead and go back to featured. So what we're going to do for this task is I want you all to create an activity that you would use if you are at a school who is one-to-one. So what that means is I want you to actually create an activity that you can share with students that they can click on and actually do on their Chromebooks or laptops or whatever it is they have. So what that means, though, is that there are certain ones that you'll need to make sure to stay away from. So things like word search and word scrambles and crossword puzzles, those ones are actually print only. Awesome things to use, but once you are done making them, they will give you printouts that you would have to take, make copies of, and hand out to your students. So like I said, they're not terrible programs at all, great to use, but they only let you create printouts. So like I said, what we're going to want to do is stick to the ones to make sure that we can make an activity within Flippity that students can work on their computers. So we'll just go ahead and start with flashcards. But actually before that, let me talk a little bit about randomizer too. Don't pick any of the randomizer activities. I mean, those are good, of course, if you're wanting to like put kids in groups, or if you're wanting to do like a thing where maybe a student's going to give a presentation and, whichever name pops up has to do the presentation and stuff like that. So not really good for an activity by itself. However, you can use it if you want to integrate it within another activity. You're more than welcome to do that, but as an activity on its own, I would recommend staying away from that. So, like I said, let's go ahead and talk about Flippity flashcards, and that's what we'll base our activity on. The first thing you want to do is look at the demo, and really I kind of recommend you look at demos on many of them, so that way you can kind of see what it is that you're doing, or what it is that you're going to get into, so what it is you need to do before you actually start creating it. So definitely demo several of them before you decide which one you want to do. So for flashcards, exactly what it sounds like, back in the old days when we had the note cards and you would write, the term on one side and you'd write the definition on the other. Same thing here, only it's done on Flippity and is done all online. So the kids don't even have to carry around note cards. All they have to do is open their laptop and they're ready to start studying. So for this example, they give you about 27 note cards you can look at, and they talk about the capital of Malaysia is one of them. And what is the capital of Malaysia? Well, you just flip it over. Kuala Lumpur. Go again to the next one. The year of Columbus discoverer of the New World. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say 1492. hey, what do you know? I got it right. So you kind of see where I'm getting at with this. So definitely you'll want to demo the activity before you actually do it to make sure it's something that you want to do. Once you pick the activity you want to do, go ahead and go back. The next thing that you will need to do is look at the instructions. It's very, very important that you look at the instructions so you know exactly what it is that you need to do once you get that spreadsheet. So it gives you the step-by-step process of what it is that you have to do. Make sure to look at this. Once again, make sure that you're looking at the instructions before you start working on the template. So that way you know exactly what it is that you need to do. So, like I said, we're going to go ahead and use flashcards. So I will just go ahead and grab the template. So we've made our decision and we know without a doubt that we want to go ahead and make some flashcards. So we click on template, and what you want to do is make a copy. But before you do that, what you want to make sure that you do is that you are logged into your MSU domain, because whatever you are logged into at the time, that is where Flippity is going to send to that account in Google Sheets. So if you have your Gmail opened up, when you use Flippity and you download the template, it's going to send the template to your Gmail G Suites account. So you need to make sure that you are logged in to your MSU domain. And like I've said before, and I've said it 100 times, when you guys are moving between different accounts, always change up here at the top. We've talked a little bit before about how you have the two profile pictures in here a lot of times. You always want to use the one that's up here by your extensions. So that way, when you guys are working with stuff across the Chrome browser, it'll always be logged into your MSU domain. So keep that in mind. So let's go ahead and make a copy of this. You guys have done this yourself, so you actually know how this is set up. So once you copy it, they actually send the template into Google Sheets. So what you can now do is go in and edit this however you want. You can change the Carr color, you can change the text color. Really, you can do just about whatever you want when it comes to editing this. Is you can just delete out what's on here and put in the information that you want. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and swap out a few things here, and I'll kind of show you how I do it just with the first one. Let's go ahead and stick with, since I'm a communications teacher, I also coach speech and debate, so we'll go ahead and do a little debate terminology. So we'll talk about, maybe we'll just do one where we do the 3 different kinds of debate. Don't go too much in depth on it, too much detail. We'll just do about 3 different cards. So with this one, the term is, this is a type of value, a type of value debate where the topic changes every 2 months. And for anyone who is a debater, probably knows that's going to be Lincoln Douglas debate. So I'll go ahead and take a quick second here and fill in the rest of this real quick, and I'll be right back. So I went ahead and in the 3 cells I put what I wanted to use for my flashcards, the terms and the definitions. And as you can see here, there's still quite a few questions underneath that. Before I delete those, I kind of wanted to show you guys a couple things that are actually pretty interesting that you can do with Flippity and flashcards. If you notice on here, there's actually some links to some web pages on here. And with a couple of these links, these are actually links to JPEG and PNG pictures that have been uploaded to the web. You can actually take those things and add them to a link on the cell, and when you actually go to the flashcard itself, that picture will pop up. So the one of Vincent van Gogh, it actually has a picture of Van Gogh on there, and on the other side is the answer to who the artist is. Also, you can link YouTube videos on there as well. So for like the element of the atomic number 3, which I believe it's lithium. You turn it over, and there's actually a link to, or there's actually a video on the other side that talks about lithium. So just some really neat things that you can do with Flippity. So what I'm going to do, like I said, with the rest of these, I really don't have a need for them. So I am going to go ahead and delete them. So I'll just highlight and delete. So now I have the ones that I do need. So once I have my flashcards made, I figured out the colors, the text, all that fun stuff. Now we want to go ahead and get the link to play the game. So we will click on Get the Link here. So as you can see on here, it says don't forget to publish your spreadsheet first. So what that means is before this thing can work, I actually need to publish it to the web, which is really easy to do. All you'll need to do is go to File and go to Publish to the Web, and then just go ahead, and we're just going to use the link anyway, so just go ahead and click Publish. Are you sure you want to do this? Sure do. And there you go. It gives you the link there. So really you can copy the link here, or you can just get it from the actual spreadsheet itself. So I'll just go ahead and do it off the spreadsheet itself. So what that means now is that our Flippity activity has now been published to the web, and now we can use that URL to go ahead and use the flashcards. So what we'll do is just click on the URL, open it up, and now our flashcards are ready to go. So a value debate where the topic changes every 2 months, we know that that is Lincoln Douglas debate. On to the next one, a current events debate where the topic changes once a month, that is public forum debate. And finally, a debate topic that lasts year round where a team advocates for a change in the status quo. We know that that is policy or cross-examination debate. Bingo, got it right. So after you go through all the flashcards, it just takes it back to the very first one and starts over again. So this in a nutshell is Flippity. Pretty easy program to use, right? So what I want you guys to do for your task this week is to create your own activity using Flippity. Once again, once it is created, once you are done, make sure that you go to Get Link here, and the URL that provides for you, that is what you are going to use to submit to Blackboard. Remember, before you can use this URL to play your Flippity activity, you need to make sure that you publish it to the web. So make sure that you're doing that before you do anything with the URL. Also, of course, test the URL to make sure that it works and make sure everything is functioning properly before you submit it to Blackboard as well. So one last time, take this URL, copy and paste it to your assignment on Blackboard, submit it to me so I can go ahead and play this activity myself. So good luck, everyone.